one of our first partnerships was with the Dallas Mavericks. We were the flagship station.
Yes.
And I was the sideline reporter on TV with Matt Pino and on radio with Mark Followell.
Yep.
And we got lucky because we had just started the radio station and we got a tremendous run of playoffs for the Mavericks and then a losing title game. And
I was on the floor that game when Jason Terry could have hit that last play to send it to overtime. I was on the floor at that game.
Well, I was on the floor in Miami when the referee blew the whistle.
Wow.
On the foul that we never knew happened agagst Dwayne Wade. The foul that should have happened.
Dwayne Wade was fouled like 20 times. He could walk down the court by himself and he still get fouled.
And then, so I really love this area. I don't live in this area anymore, but I came to do something with these incredible people here at BAM Testing.
Okay, so let me.
So I'm glad that you're doing what you do because I've been around Sports Talk Radio since 1997, and so I'm glad that you do what you do online.
Let me re-give the introduction.
Okay.
This is the incredible David Shore of old in 103.3 FM ESPN Radio, the flagship, the start of talk radio here in Dallas.
Well, we followed up. We followed the ticket, but we tried to create a product and a brand that was a little bit different. And I think it worked.
And you did.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, you had Michael Irvin had his own show there.
Yep.
Yeah. Nate Newton had his own show there.
Yep.
Yes. You guys used to broadcast out of TGI Fridays in Louisville.
Yep.
The great Dave show because I used to listen to you guys all the time.
Yeah. And Jet Terry and I used to do a show over at Speed Zone.
Yep.
And I did the show with Avery Johnson when he was here, and now he's successfully coaching NCAA.
He's at
Alabama.
Alabama. Okay.
They won the other night, and they play today.
Yes, they do. The Great Dave Show. I have to put great on there.
Well, I appreciate that.
I have to put great on there because
you know what. I get to be around a lot of cool people. I mean, I went from here to start a sports radio station in Raleigh, North Carolina after I left Dallas in 2007. And then after that, ESPN brought me back to Los Angeles, and I did the Lakers sideline reporting for 6 seasons. So I was there when you guys beat us here to go on to win the title.
Yeah.
So I was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
There you go. Well, twice actually.
Yeah.
Because you lost one.
Yep, lost one, and then I lost another one.
Yeah. Talk to us about starting because I've been doing sports radio. Well, actually, I've been doing the sports newspaper. And I started this in 2004.
Yeah.
So I was covering the Mavericks then with the sports paper. That's where I remember you.
Yeah.
Because I used to walk around with my paper all the time.
Yeah,
hey, y'all want the paper, y'all want the paper.
Yeah.
But talk to us about starting a sports radio station. I mean, that's got to be a huge thing.
Well, I was a TV sports anchor in 1997, and I was convinced to leave TV sports because I saw our sportscasts get shorter in time instead of longer, and weather getting longer instead of shorter. And I thought, this isn't right. And I got into Sports Talk Radio when we really first started growing it. It's because we felt like people would have a voice, and they would want to talk about it between the games more and more. And that previewing a game would be more important than talking about the post game.
Right, after the game.
Yeah, so for example, a couple of years ago, one of the first things I changed in Los Angeles about the USC football broadcast is we made the pregame 6 hours long.
Wow.
And we shortened the post game to 45 minutes. Because everybody is excited when the score is 0-0, when the Cowboys are 0-0. Because it's a brand new year.
Right.
And so, Sports Talk Radio gave us that outlet to both have an opinion and to let other people have an opinion and then discuss it. And we just never knew that it was going to grow and we'd have the personalities that we did over the years.
And it has grown phenomenal.
Yeah, well, you know what? It never stops.
It didn't.
It's the same sports mainly. Some sports like hockey, we don't have enough of a chance to talk about the nuances of the game because there just isn't that many things to break down. But, in this area, this is one of the few areas in the country where you can talk Cowboys football
all year long.
All year long.
And it never gets boring.
Yeah.
So we're in an age right now, or day and age right now, where in this area, you have the Mavericks, you have the Stars, you have the Rangers, you got the Cowboys. Of those 4 top teams, there are really no quote-unquote winners or those that are playoff bound, except maybe the Stars if they get their points right. So how do you deal with areas that really don't have a lot of things going on in those top sports?
Well, the thing is, here's the interesting thing. You have to study the next generation of your listener or your user or whoever is your customer base. And so for us in Sports Talk Radio, I've always studied the millennials, and now I'm studying the Gen Zs, the high school athletes that we saw, out here today. What are they like? Well, what our research has shown us is that about 7 out of every 10 Gen Z sports fan, their favorite team is not in the area where they live.
Right.
Their favorite player is not in the area where they live.
Right.
So that's completely changed from 20 years ago. So when you go to most cities, or when I was traveling here with the Cowboys, we were filling half the stadium in another city of Cowboy fans. When I was with the Lakers, anywhere we would go, there were Kobe fans. They might root for their local team, but they were rooting for a team or a player that they were experiencing in the media. So I think that this area is spoiled because you have so many great sports to fuel you here. And when you've got a team like the Stars or Texas Motor Speedway, they find their lane and they stay in their lane. They find their audience and they super serve their audience.
Right.
Because you'll never be more popular than the Cowboys.
Right. But you serve your audience that you like, though.
Right. And that audience is going to crave more and more and more. And so that's what we're seeing now. The world has become very small. And we see we see fans in other countries and they're all experiencing it now on their telephone. And we're doing what you're doing is to talking online, or that's where the future is going. Is none of our shows are going to be set at a certain time anymore. It's where you want it, when you want it.
Right.
And
so what is the next phase for you, or are you moving on to other adventures? Or?
Well, I have Shore Sports Media now that I have that I'm building, and I consult athletes and teams and executives on media training. How important it is to understand what the media is looking for to help them, and what you need to do to be prepared to help further your brand. And so I work with athletes a lot with social media and understanding that they are a brand. And so I love being around sports. So I like to work with some of the new technology and new product companies, and I'm really enjoying this. But I still freelance for ESPN, and I oversee some of the national radio broadcasts that we do in Major League Baseball and the NFL and college football.
Okay, we would love to have you back on the show. You can call
in,
or if you're in the area, we've got a studio and everything. You can come in. We do our show from 7 to 9 every Tuesday.
Okay.
So we would love to have you on and just talk sports and just kind of help us move along, because
that's good.
We're getting to this.
Well, congrats on what you're trying to do, and I love content. I'm a content guy, so
content sales.
You can follow me on Twitter at Dave_Shore, and I'm, like I said, I still give my take on a lot of topics, because that's still who I am. I'm still a performer.
Okay, so as since you give your take, give us your Final Four. Don't say UMBC.
I had Virginia as one of my Final Four, but I got Michigan State winning it all.
So your bracket is done.
No, my bracket's not done. I think I'm still like fifth in the contest, because everybody else is losing too.
Yeah.
Everybody that had Virginia doesn't have Virginia anymore.
Right.
So I think I'm trying to picture it in my head, but I know that I have Michigan State and North Carolina at the end, and I think Michigan State's going to win.
I've got North Carolina winning the whole thing.
Yeah.
I forget my other four, but I have North Carolina.
Well, I live in Raleigh, North Carolina now, so that would make a lot of fans happy back there.
That would build your show up a lot.
It would upset all the Duke fans. So,
but it does all the time, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
North Carolina and Duke just does not get along.
Yeah. Well, people don't realize that Duke is a national brand.
Right.
It's not even the biggest brand locally in the Raleigh-Durham area. North Carolina is the biggest.
Yeah,
NC State is another one.
Is right there.
But nationally, Notre Dame and Duke are national brands. They're not really local brands.
You mentioned NC State. Let me ask you one more question and we can get off. Lorenzo Charles, remember that, 1983?
Yep.
Who were they playing?
Oh, boy.
What is it, Kentucky or Kansas?
I'm drawing a blank. That's why we have Google.
Yeah. I know. I forget who they playing because all I remember was Lorenzo Charles hit that. Lorenzo Charles hit the dunk. Was the dunk.
It was not against Kentucky.
It wasn't good. Okay, so it may have been Kansas.
Yeah.
Yeah. It may have been.
See,
Kansas.
that's the thing. That's the thing about incredible sports moments. We never understand or remember the losing team.
Right.
You notice that?
Exactly. But you know who hit the shot.
Yep.
I don't even remember who threw the ball.
Wittenberg.
Wittenberg
threw the ball.
It was half court, wasn't it?
Yep.
He hit half court, and then we all figured, okay. And once NC State,
and then
hit
we saw Jim Valvano run around the court.
Yeah, like with the jacket flying.
Yep.
So like I said, I'd love to get you on. Tell us again how to get in touch with you.
Well, I think Twitter is a very easy way. I'm on Facebook as well, but Twitter is Dave_Shore and Shore Sports Media on Instagram, and I enjoy interacting with the fans out there.
We're gonna make sure we follow you. We definitely want to get you back on. This is the great David Shore, and I say the great David Shore because I've been listening to him for a long time.
Well, that makes me feel old, but.
I mean, we're probably the same age, Joe.
No, I don't. I'm 52 now, so
okay.
You're younger than me.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm 48, so I'll be 48 this year.
Okay.
But
I keep young because I study the younger generation all the time. That's
what you do. This has been 411 Sports Talk Radio on 411radionetwork.com. Make sure you come by and see us. This is the great Dave Shore. We are out. This is it right here.
Yep.
They turn off the lights.